Please introduce yourself.
जी, my name is Amit Chhabra and I am the Chief Business Officer at PolicyBazaar.com.
सर, हाल ही के जीएसटी सुधारों का ग्राहकों के लिए स्वास्थ्य बीमा प्रीमियम की कुल लागत पर क्या प्रभाव पड़ेगा?
देखिए, बहुत ही अच्छी चीज़ है ये जो हुई है। दो पार्ट में मैं इसको तोड़ना चाहूँगा। पहली चीज़ ये है कि कस्टमर के लिए हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सस्ता हो गया है, तो 18% एक तरह से कस्टमर को इंस्टेंट डिस्काउंट मिल गया है हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस खरीदने के लिए। मोर देन दैट, मेरे को ये लगता है कि ज़्यादा बड़ी बात यह है कि एक तरह से भारत सरकार ने ये चीज़ एंडोर्स करी है कि हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस एक मैंडेटरी प्रोडक्ट है, बहुत ही ज़रूरी चीज़ है जो आजकल के दौर में सबको लेनी चाहिए। जीएसटी 0% उन चीज़ों पे होता है जो कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण होती हैं कस्टमर्स के लिए। ऐसे में हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस और टर्म इंश्योरेंस पे 0% जीएसटी होने का मतलब यही है कि हर कस्टमर को ये लेना चाहिए और इससे आई थिंक काफ़ी अवेयरनेस बढ़ेगी और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस खरीदेंगे।
क्या आपको लगता है कि ये सुधार भारत में बीमा की पहुंच बढ़ाएंगे, खासकर मध्यम वर्ग और पहली बार बीमा खरीदने वालों के लिए?
बिल्कुल, डेफिनेटली ये होगा। देखिए, अगर भारत के फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर आके ये कह रहे हैं कि हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस और लाइफ इंश्योरेंस पे जीएसटी हट रहा है, इसका मतलब ये है कि वो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण प्रोडक्ट है। तो आई थिंक पूरा भारत देश ये चीज़ देख रहा है, सुन रहा है, तो उनको कहीं ना कहीं ये चीज़ ज़रूर लगेगी कि ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट प्रोडक्ट है और बहुत सारे लोग जो आज तक नहीं सोच रहे थे हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस के बारे में, वो लेंगे हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस और इससे अवेयरनेस बढ़ेगी। डेफिनेटली पेनिट्रेशन ऑफ हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस भी बढ़ेगी।
कंपनी के दृष्टिकोण से जीएसटी सुधारों के परिणामस्वरूप आप किस प्रकार के वित्तीय बदलावों की अपेक्षा करते हैं?
देखिए, एक माइनर टेक्निकल चेंज सबने कल ही लाइव किया है, जिसके तहत अब 0% जीएसटी पे आप हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस और लाइफ इंश्योरेंस खरीद सकते हैं। इसके अलावा बहुत ज़्यादा हम चेंज एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं। जो थोड़ी बहुत डिस्कशन है अराउंड इनपुट क्रेडिट, वाइल वो है, लेकिन हमें ऐसा लगता है कि जैसे जैसे बहुत ज़्यादा वॉल्यूम आएगा, स्केल आएगा और हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस और लाइफ इंश्योरेंस का वॉल्यूम बढ़ेगा, वो सब टेक केयर कर लेगा ये जो थोड़ा बहुत इम्पैक्ट है। तो हमें यही लगता है कि इससे पॉजिटिव बदलाव ही होगा हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस में और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस खरीदेंगे और इससे पूरी इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री को फ़ायदा मिलेगा।
How will the recent GST reforms impact the overall cost of health insurance premiums for customers?
See, I think for the customer it's an extremely beneficial move because they are getting an 18% instant discount on health insurance and life insurance. That is one part. I would feel that the other important aspect is that the awareness will significantly go up now. So what has happened is that the government has come out and endorsed that there is no GST now on health insurance and life insurance. This I feel is an extremely positive move because the government is saying that it's a mandatory product, it's an important product and it must be bought by every citizen of the country. So the awareness will only go up and more people will buy health insurance and life insurance.
Do you see these reforms increasing insurance penetration in India, especially among middle class and first time buyers?
Oh yes, most definitely we see that more and more people who are new to insurance, who never bought health insurance, they will come and buy health insurance because I think, as I said, if the finance minister of the country comes out and announces that we are removing GST totally, so if you look at it, for every other object, GST has been reduced from say 18% to 5% or from 28% to 8%, but on health insurance and on life insurance, GST has been removed from 18 to 0 directly. That I feel is a huge change and it's a huge thumbs up from the government of India that health insurance and life insurance must be bought by consumers. In such a scenario, it is extremely important that more and more people understand the importance of why health insurance and life insurance is important. And I feel that in the days to come, the penetration will definitely go up.
From the company perspective, what operational or financial changes do you expect as a result of GST reforms and how are you planning to adapt?
Not much, to be honest, So there is a bit of a technology change that everybody has gone live with yesterday. Today is the first day of zero GST on health insurance and life insurance. So we don't see any major impact as such on the operations on a daily basis. There is a bit of talk around, about the input credit that insurance companies will not be able to get. But I feel eventually the volume will take care of it because we are expecting the volumes to significantly go up as we go forward. So it's an extremely positive step in an overall basis.
Thank you.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कल देश को संबोधन किया और उन्होंने ये शुभ समाचार सबको बताए थे कि दिवाली इस साल जल्दी आ गई है। तो जीएसटी 2 के अंतर्गत किए गए रिफॉर्म्स के वजह से अमूल ने भी 700 से ज्यादा प्रोडक्ट्स के दामों में कटौती की है। जीएसटी के दर जो घी, मक्खन, चीज पे 12% थे वो कम होकर 5% हो गए, आइसक्रीम पे 18% से कम होके 5% हो गए और कई सारे प्रोडक्ट्स पे भी इसके दाम 0 हो गए। तो इसकी वजह से किसानों के लिए बड़ा फायदा होगा क्योंकि कंज्यूमर्स की डिमांड बढ़ेगी और ये प्रोडक्ट्स के दाम कम होने से कंज्यूमर्स की खपत भी बढ़ेगी। तो हम अमूल की ओर से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहते हैं कि उन्होंने कंज्यूमर्स और प्रोड्यूसर्स दोनों का हित ध्यान में रख के इतना बड़ा क्रांतिकारी रिफॉर्म हमारे देश के लिए किया है। To the nation yesterday, Honorable Prime Minister spoke about the impact of the GST reforms on the country. At Amul, we are very happy to inform that we have actually passed on the entire benefit of GST reduction to all our consumers. The reduction in GST on ghee from 12% to 5%, similarly in butter and cheese from 12 to 5%, in ice creams from 18% to 5%, will bring in a big reduction in the prices of our products to the consumers. And with the increase in demand, it will see a benefit passing on to millions of our producers in the long term. We are indeed thankful to the government for these fantastic reforms, which has made nutrition affordable to the masses and, more importantly, providing an assured source of livelihood to millions of milk producers associated with the dairy industry of our country.
इसे 2017 के बाद का सबसे बड़ा टैक्स सुधार माना जा रहा है, इस पर क्या विचार है सर?
देखिए, हम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की बहुत तहे दिल से शुक्रिया करते हैं कि ये डिसीजन लिया गया। आई थिंक ये कंपनीज़ और कंज्यूमर्स के लिए बहुत अच्छा स्टेप है। हमारे जितने भी प्रोडक्ट्स हैं ये सब के सब या तो 5 पे या 0% पे स्लैब में आ गए हैं। इससे कंज्यूमर को जो बेनिफिट मिलेगा वो आज से हमारा रिवीजन हो चुका है मार्केट में। हमने ऑलरेडी इसको अनाउंस कर दिया था लास्ट वीक में और आज से पूरा इम्प्लीमेंटेशन मार्केट के अंदर कस्टमर को मिलेगा। सो आई थिंक ये बहुत अच्छा स्टेप है। इससे कंज्यूमर को जो बेनिफिट मिलेगा वो अलग, इसके अलावा कंजम्पशन भी आगे बढ़ने की उम्मीद है हमारे को, क्योंकि ये फेस्टिवल का पीरियड अभी शुरू हो रहा है। तो अब से नवरात्रों से जो शुरू हुआ है, आई थिंक ये दिवाली तक पूरा जाएगा ही। सो आई थिंक दैट बी अ वेरी गुड स्टेप फॉर द कस्टमर्स।
सर, जैसे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने कहा है कि जीएसटी सुधारों से रोजमर्रा का खर्च कम होगा, तो मदर डेयरी जैसी कंपनीज जो डायरेक्टली फार्मर्स से जो मिल्क प्रोडक्ट्स उठाते हैं हम, उससे फार्मर्स को और जिन लोगों से आप सामान ले रहे हैं उनको डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट किस प्रकार से मिल पाएगा?
देखिए, कंज्यूमर के हाथ में अगर ज़्यादा पैसा रहता है, बहुत नेचुरल है वो पैसा वो कंजम्पशन में ही जाता है, क्योंकि इंडिया में इट्स लार्जली कंजम्पशन लेड मार्केट। तो अगर कंज्यूमर के पास अगर मान लीजिए 1000 रुपये ज़्यादा है जेब में, वो किसी ना किसी कैटेगरी में ज़्यादा खर्चा करते हैं वो जब वो करेंगे तो हमारे पास जो डिमांड आएगी, क्योंकि हम लोग अक्रॉस इंडिया 10 लाख फार्मर्स के साथ कनेक्टेड हैं और मदर डेयरी एज ए कंपनी जो है वो एनडीडीबी की सब्सिडरी होने के नाते कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट से आगे आई है। तो अगर हमारे पास ज़्यादा दूध की डिमांड आएगी, वही दूध की डिमांड हमारे फार्मर्स के पास जाएगी और उनका हम ज़्यादा मटेरियल ले पाएंगे तो उनको इनडायरेक्टली बेनिफिट मिलेगा। सो ये पूरा डेयरी इकोसिस्टम के अंदर आई थिंक ये बेनिफिट मिलने की उम्मीद है।
सर, भारतीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जनता से स्वदेशी सामान खरीदने की अपील की है ताकि देश का जो उद्योग है वो मजबूत हो सके, इस पर क्या कहेंगे?
देखिए, मदर डेयरी तो वैसे भी स्वदेशी कंपनी है। हमने पिछले साल दिसंबर में 50 साल अपने पूरे किए और हमारी कंपनी के अंदर जो कंज्यूमर की समझ है, उनके टेस्ट की समझ है, उनकी क्वालिटी के रिक्वायरमेंट की समझ है और जो कैटेगरीज और प्रोडक्ट हम कस्टमर के लिए लाते हैं वो लेजेंडरी है। तो आई थिंक कस्टमर हमारे ऑलरेडी 50 साल से हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं। तो ये जो ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने जो ये अपील की है, हमारे लिए तो बहुत अच्छी बात है अगर कस्टमर और ज़्यादा हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स की तरफ अट्रैक्ट हो।
New GST slabs to take effect from today. GST rate cut and this is seen as India's biggest tax revamp since 2017. Sir, now the GST slabs are reduced from 4 to 2. So how do you see this as a major change in the tax regime of India?
I think it's a very good step taken by the government of India. We really appreciate this step. It's a revolutionary step in the direction of increasing demand for the companies, and also it will give a very huge benefit to consumers. It will help consumers save a lot of money, and especially starting with Navratri, it's a very beneficial step for all of us. It will give a lot of money into the pocket of the consumers, and in return I think it will also increase demand for many categories for the companies.
Sir, a company like yours which directly takes products from farmers, so how will the end benefit, how will farmers get the end benefit after the GST slabs are reduced?
देखिए, we are a direct subsidiary of National Dairy Development Board, and we are born out of the cooperative movement. We are connected to more than 10 lakh farmers across India. We not only operate in dairy space, we also operate in Safal, with Safal and Dhara. So whatever benefit which is passed on to our organization, we give it back to the farmers. And if the consumption goes up at the consumer level, more and more milk and our associated Safal products will get into more demand, which will directly or indirectly benefit the farmers. So I think it's overall dairy ecosystem and Safal ecosystem will benefit out of it.
So the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called on citizens to prioritize made in India products in a push to strengthen local manufacturing and support the national economy.
I think it's a very, very bold statement made by our Honorable Prime Minister, and I think it's in the right direction. Mother Dairy has completed 50 years of service to the nation in December last year, and I think our consumers and people who consume our products are fully aware of the legacy. They are fully aware of the quality that Mother Dairy produces and the taste that we provide to consumers. So we'll be very happy to service our consumers for another 50 years and contribute to the economy of the country.
It's about the CII event. It's about the renewable energy conference, along with other power sector as well. Covers the entire gamut of transmission, distribution, generation, basically bringing all the energy sources together to see how we can achieve the Prime Minister's vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047 and Atmanirbhar Bharat in the power sector. So we're expecting, the government has done a lot to propel India to where we are in the renewable sector today. What we're looking for is additional support in some specific areas where we need, for example, transmission access to accelerate the build out of renewable energy sources. Also on the distribution side, on the rules and regulations, having a stable framework of policy. Also on the manufacturing side, so that we can transition from where we are today towards a completely independent manufacturing sector in India, which is Atmanirbhar. We need a little bit of a runway on that as well. So a number of points, we've all raised them. We had a very good lunch today with the Honorable Minister for Power, along with all the CEOs of the industry. All the points were raised, they were taken, we were discussed in a lot of detail. They were noted and they will be taken forward. A lot of support, less interference, and listening to our issues and problems. As I mentioned, a lot of things on the transmission side. We're seeking support to accelerate the build out of the grid. Also on land and right-of-way issues, because renewables as a sector needs a lot of land. And with land comes its challenges. So having, for example, a nodal officer at the state level who can interact with the central government to push the projects on the ground. This is where the last mile challenges happen, both on the demand side as well as the supply side. And we need some constant involvement of the state and the center to resolve these challenges that we see in our day-to-day operations and construction business.
Government is targeting 500 gigawatt production of renewable energy by 2030.
Yeah.
So the current pace is pretty impressive. Do you think with this pace we can achieve it before 2030?
I don't think we'll achieve it before 2030. I think it'll take us 2030 to get there. But the speed at which it's happening is quite good. To maintain that speed that we've seen over the last year, we need additional reforms on land, for example, right-of-way issues, and the transmission build-out that I mentioned. Along with that, if we can give some impetus to the supply side so that there's ample supply of panels, Indian-made panels, and wind turbines, and also integrating battery storage. That's a big push right now, is to get battery storage in the mix of renewables. But a lot of the battery equipment comes from China. So having that equipment come in freely and being able to use that in our projects, I think that's kind of what is required from the ecosystem to be able to accelerate the push.
Is it feasible to import batteries from China?
Right now, that's the only option. Yes.
So we need to create the Make in India battery.
Eventually, yes, but I think we have some ways to get there to build the technology expertise and the capability to get there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon.
What's the event about today?
This event is about alternate energies, and basically the session today was emerging technologies for a cleaner mobility. So it's a very exciting session, and I think the Honorable Prime Minister has already set the stage for India carbon neutral by 2070, and now the entire country, including all the OEMs and the government, are working towards achieving this dream of becoming a self-reliant economy. Auto industry, since ages has always been launching technology products, whether it is the CNG, whether it is the electric vehicle, now going forward the flex fuel vehicle, and also the hydrogen vehicle. I think these are the vehicles which will help us to safeguard our economy, reduce the import of the crude oil, and ensure that whatever material or things we have in India, like the corn, like the sugar cane, they can be used to produce energy compliant vehicles. And I think that's where today we had a very interesting session in terms of the emerging trends in the global economies.
So, sir, after E20 has been rolled out recently. So, how is it going on? What's the success rate? And
Well, actually, I would first of all compliment the entire auto industry and the government of India for advancing the launch of E20 fuel. So from 1st April 2025, Pan India E20 compliant fuel has been launched across the country, and all auto OEMs, all cars, which is the petrol cars, are now compliant and fully compliant as far as E20 gasoline is concerned. We are now in the process of discussing with the government about the higher blends of ethanol. It could be E22, E27, E25, and going forward even E85, which is the flex fuel or the multi-fuel vehicle. So the government is working upon that. Oil marketing companies, the Indian Oil, Bharat Petroleum, Hindustan Petroleum are in touch, and I'm sure very soon we will also hear some announcements coming from the government towards higher blend of gasoline also. Not only this, in fact, Mr. Gadkari recently talked about even in diesel, isobutanol will be something which will be blended even to reduce our import of crude fuel, especially for the diesel purpose. So if that happens, it will be a double-edged sword and will be able to safeguard a lot of money as far as foreign exchange currency is concerned.
all right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.